Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Can you believe it is already 50 days since Double Masters 2022 came out? Let's get a look at the draft box sales from TCG Player. Yes, I have these listed under set boxes on here, but that's because I don't collect a lot of draft box data, because when sets first come out, their draft box sales aren't really interesting. Set boxes have the better cards, and so it's more interesting to watch what set boxes are doing when the set first comes out than draft boxes. I know a lot of people still argue that draft boxes will do better long term. We'll see. The market will eventually tell us, so don't worry. But back to Double Masters 2022. So it sold about 2,100 additional boxes since release day, which was the last time I did an update on the draft boxes. 2,100 additional boxes, and the price has come down about $20. I would have never guessed that this product would, and I don't even want to use the words melt down, but that it would just kind of deflate slightly by $20 per box. And on a percentage basis of the price of this product, it's only lost about 6% of its release day value. But I would have expected it to have gone up from here, because we're all pretty certain when WotC releases a master set, they will not do a reprint of it. So I'm surprised to see this. But the interesting thing is, I took the number of boxes that have sold since release day, and I multiplied by kind of a guess of an average of $330 a box, and you get about $700,000 of box sales on TCG Player. So I thought that was interesting, and I thought, what can we compare it to kind of make an interesting story here? And I thought, how did Kamagawa Neon Dynasty did? Because if you'll remember, Kamagawa's set boxes, when they came out, the first wave just got absolutely devoured. And the second wave came out, the prices were at about $140, and it brought them back down to about $115. Now that second wave of Kamagawa set boxes is kind of exhausted in the market, and the price is creeping back up into the high 120s. And so we can say that Kamagawa is a very popular set. And especially for a standard set, it's really popular. And so I think it's a decent comparison because, well, it was only about 6 months ago, and it had high popularity like we should always expect a Masters reprint set to have. But you see, when we plot the Kamagawa set boxes up here next to the Double Masters draft boxes, Kamagawa just doesn't hold a candle. I mean, price-wise, we know it shouldn't, because, again, it's a standard set instead of a master set. But in terms of boxes sold, even at that much lower price point, in the 110s, 120s over the first 50 days post-release, it still just didn't sell nearly as many additional boxes after release. We see this gap here widen as time goes on. And so just for out of curiosity, I did the same calculation. I said, how many boxes were sold from release day to release plus 50 for Kamagawa, at kind of eyeballing what the average price was from the top right graph. And it was only about $200,000 worth of box sales on TCG Player, compared to Double Masters 2022 selling $700,000 in the same relative point of its life. And so I think it kind of answers a question we may not have been consciously wondering, but it's what's kind of sucked all the air out of the room in terms of money to spend on other things. When we see so many collector boxes still beaten down all the way into the 130s, 140s, 150s, Baldur's Gate collector boxes, which, remember, were a halfway premium set. Those were sold at the wholesale level about $30 higher than normal collector boxes, but even those are beaten down to about the 180s. We still have tons of booster boxes, all the way down in the 80s for stuff like Crimson Vow, and then in the 90s for a lot of other sets, and some set boxes still in the high 90s. And the interesting thing about all of that is WotC has told us these products are going away. They've told us that essentially from today onward. I mean, they told us in the past, but as of the recording of this video, we know that from today forward, if you're ordering restocks, you're paying the new higher prices for those standard products. For Crimson Vow, if you're a small card store, you're going to be paying mid to high 90s for booster and set boxes of Crimson Vow. And you look at it on the market right now, and you can buy booster boxes on the secondary market for $85 for for Crimson Vow. And so, you really see all these other products that even though they're at fire sale prices, even though we know those prices are going to go up because there will be they will essentially be the substitution until they are exhausted, and then we will all have to pay higher prices for anything. Even then, Double Masters 2022 is still selling so well and at such a high price 50 days after release that it's just vacuuming up all the money out of the market, and basically people are going where the quality cards are. So I thought that was maybe the interesting story to tell here. Let me know what you think, if there's any interesting observations you've had either from this data or just in general. I always like hearing those. So otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot.